Hi everyone. I wanted to have a little fireside chat with you with my fake electric fire. Isn't it pretty? Much less maintenance than a real fireplace. To talk about the breaking news that we received just this morning, or actually I think it was this afternoon. Early afternoon, we received breaking news that board president John Hancock has resigned. Now, this was John Hancock's third term, and there's 3 years to every term, and he's been the president for as many years as I can remember. I moved here in 2020 and just started following things, so I don't know who was president before him, but he's been president for as long as I've been watching and observing what goes on around here. So this is a pretty big deal. As you know, the vice president of the board resigned on December 26th, so just a couple of weeks ago. And there's so much, ways to speculate about what this is due to. So, of course, anything that I talk about right now would just be pure speculation and opinion. But, based on information and knowledge that I have, there's a couple of different scenarios that I think would lead him to take this action. So I always felt that John was is very dedicated to this community, and I think that he really got great esteem and great value to be, contributing to this community and leading this community. But I also do think that sometimes people, make decisions that other people don't agree with. So I think over time that a lot of the decisions and behaviors a lot of people did not like, and that's created some friction around the community. So I think a lot of people are happy to see him go, but I know that there are a lot of people who appreciate John for all of the work he did, and I do appreciate all of the work that he did and all of the knowledge that he has and tried to pass down. But it is very interesting that he decided to leave. So one of my thoughts is that if he was not in agreement with what the board plan was for handling the issue with the public safety department, that he would have left on the same day that Mike Smolensky resigned on December 26th. So it's interesting and curious to me that he didn't resign on the same day as Mike Smolensky. So 2 weeks went by. They were supposed to meet today to discuss selecting a replacement for Mike Smolensky. So the meeting was starting at 9:30, and he apparently resigned according to the memo at 9:55. And so that means 25 minutes into the meeting, he resigned. So is it possible that the other board of directors said to him and discussed, no, this is what we want to do and handle this situation, and he didn't agree? And one idea is that he was thinking that he could maybe sway the other board directors to his way and give it one last shot, and that they're trying to do something he's not in agreement with. So he too resigned as an act of protest against the other board directors, the other 7 directors. So that's one potential angle. Or the other angle is he has been leading the board for several years. And like I had talked about in my other videos, there have been a couple of different issues that have gone on. So right now we have an issue going on with an investigation into our public safety department, and we have legal issues related to that. And just prior to that, you can say hi to my pup. Just prior to that, we had a water quality issue that was not addressed appropriately. Hi, buddy. By management and staff and the board. And so that means that in the last 3 years, he has been overseeing the community during 2 very high-profile investigations and legal matters. So maybe because of the videos and me talking about it publicly, that had something to do with him resigning. Who knows? The other thing is, maybe it has nothing to do with either of those. People resign for personal reasons, health issues, family issues, all sorts of things. But, that would be at the bottom of my list of reasons why. So my opinion is he resigned this morning because he's not in agreement with what the other board of directors want to do to handle this issue. And he wanted to hold the top officials that are on staff accountable. So we really need to know what's happening with this matter. Or he finally came to his senses and realized that the way that things have been running here under his leadership have not been transparent, and that major problems are happening and we need a whole new board. And so he decided to step down. This is a volunteer position. This is an unpaid position. Why would anybody want to, do this to themselves when this is a lot of liability and, a lot of responsibility to have to be overseeing all of that. And if there were questions about my leadership, I would step down. A lot of people called on him to step down back in 2023, 2024, surrounding the water quality issue, and he refused to step down. So I don't know, but I think a lot of people are happy about this. I know a lot of people are sad about this. We can be, you can feel two things at once. Somebody can be a good person and be a, good part of our community, but they can also make the wrong decisions and not treat people well when they're in positions of power. So I think you have that's an issue too around here, is that we need to have directors who treat members more respectfully, because you can't keep certain people quiet like me. So I think we're moving in the right direction, and 5 seats this summer out of 9, maybe more. We got to see where the chips fall. Have a good night.